What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Greybeard with the Gaming Brigade, back with another Division 2 video, and today, my friends, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite missions and control points to farm in the game for solo and heroic content. Reason being is I've gotten a lot of messages recently from players who are just getting back into the game now, wondering what are my favorite spots to hit up. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really does help us out. Finally, as most of you know, we have giveaways here, and our current one is for a PlayStation 5, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. The winner will be announced on December 31st of this year, and as I've mentioned in all of my previous videos, keep in mind that watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things here you may enjoy. That's why you have the option of entering via Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's video. So as I said a moment ago, the main reason I wanted to put this video together was not just for new and returning players, but also for a group of people that have just now gotten to the point in the game where they can finally do heroic difficulty on your own. Now, I know for a lot of people out there, you may have been able to do that for a while, but keep in mind that there is a good portion of this community that really doesn't get to play that often. They play when they can, when they have some free time, and they're finally making that transition from challenging to heroic. And with that being said, I've gotten messages asking me what ones, what missions, control points do I recommend for people who are just getting to that point now. They're finally able to do the stuff on their own. So today, my friends, I'm showing you 3 of my favorite missions and 3 of my favorite control points to run on heroic difficulty. Now, once again, to be clear, as we start this video off, this is for new players, beginners, things like that. If you're a vet, you do not need to watch this thing. These are things you already know. Now, for everybody else, so here's what we're going to be doing. I'm starting off with showing you Lincoln Memorial, which is by far my favorite mission in the game. I hit this spot up almost every day, depending on what the targeted loot may be. Now, throughout the video, I'll be showing you the locations I like to farm. I'll also be talking about why I actually like to farm these locations. We'll go over certain aspects of the build, and most importantly, talk about how you should choose a different farming area depending on your game style. So the first 3 missions I'm showing you are based around a run and gun build. I'm running with the Scorpio. I will leave a link to this build in the description down below. But for me, when I'm hitting up Lincoln Memorial, it's all about time management. I know with this mission, I can get through it in under 10 minutes. You have 4 named enemies you're facing before you clear the thing. So again, it's incredibly beneficial. Now, because my entire focal point of this mission is get to the named bosses as quickly as possible, that's why I'm using the run and gun build, because I want to get to the end of the mission, reload the thing, and do it over and over again. Now, with that being said, it's important to make sure that throughout the mission, whether it's your first time or last time, you go through and make sure you get all the other loot that's there. Most of these missions have multiple faction boxes in them, which can be another really great source of high quality loot. Now, remember that you need to have the corresponding faction key in order to open the box, and the boxes are on a 24-hour timer. Therefore, whether it's your first attempt on this mission or the last one, really take your time. Know the mission from beginning to end. That way, at one point, as you're speedrunning it, you can make sure you hit everything up so you, again, don't miss out on any possible loot. The other recommendation I have, and this is for any mission, control point, it doesn't matter in the game, and especially if you're trying out a new build, and we'll get into that in a moment, but with any of these missions or CPs, you want to make sure you try it on a lower difficulty at first. That way you truly learn the timing of the NPC and the mission layout. A perfect example I can give you is right here. The footage you're looking at. The reason why I'm showing you this footage and it looks seamless and I'm able to get through it really quick is because it took me a long time to really pick these patterns up. But again, once you do, you become incredibly efficient. And again, my friends, you're going to be getting a ton of good loot. As we make our way to Viewpoint Museum, which happens to be the second location I'm showing you today, it's again one of my favorites. One of the questions I get asked a lot at the channel is, why don't you just farm in the summit? You know what I mean? Like, you can just go there, you can choose what you want. And for me, there are 2 main reasons why I enjoy farming missions and control points more. First of all, with my luck, I have just had better luck finding better loot in the open world. There's no more to it than that. RNG for me is not the best in the summit. I have found some really good stuff there, but not as consistently as I do in the open world. So for me, that's really the top reason. The other thing, to be honest with you, is the fact that I find the summit boring after a while. Like, I can hit up different missions, different control points, whether it's, I don't know. I'll usually do an hour session, 2 hours, something like that, but I have more of a variation, and for me, that's more enjoyable. And as we make our way to the American History Museum, which is the next mission I'm going to be highlighting today, I want to talk about my build and why I've chosen it. I'm running 4-piece Hunter's Fury, the Memento backpack, the Scorpio as my primary weapon, the apartment as my secondary, and I have a piece of Badger Tough with Intimidate on the chest. Now, I happen to run these missions very aggressively only because I know the timing of the NPC, and this goes back to something I said at the beginning of the video. My friends, pick a mission where you know the timing, where you're going to be, or at least be willing to learn the timing. Obviously, that's the entire point, because the faster you can get through them, the more you're going to maximize that gameplay. I know that another one of the main reasons why people enjoy this mission, why it's so popular, because I've heard this from you as well, is due to the fact that you can get through these 3 missions pretty quickly in the game. I mean, once you again, you need to become proficient in it, you need to learn the timing, but once you do, typically you can get through these things in about 10 minutes. And as we make our way to talking about the control points, most of you know by now my main goal at the channel is to try to help gamers out in any way I can. So if you have any questions, obviously let me know, and if you have any missions you'd like to hit up that you want to pass along to other players, please let me know in the comment section down below. Now moving on, my friends, I'd like to go over control points. And again, this is for people who are playing solo, they're just getting into heroic content, and you want to hit up these CPs because they are great places to find a ton of loot. Now, 3 of my favorite, or 3 I recommend, I should say, are Sleeping Giant, MLK Memorial Library, and Riverside Gas Station. Now, for these 3 locations, I'm using a skill build. Now, I will leave a link to this build in the description down below, but when I make a choice on what I'm doing in the game, that is going to directly affect the type of build that I'm actually going to run with. And because of the layout of these locations, for me, I am most proficient with this specific build. Starting off with Sleeping Giant, and you're going to see this in all 3 of the locations I'm showing you. It's all about, just like real estate, man, it's all about location, 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 location. Like you can see here, you can get a great vantage point. Now, when it's on heroic, remember that there are 2 main waves of NPCs. You're going to face a wave, you're going to take out a named enemy, then there's going to be a second wave with another named enemy after that. And like I said a moment ago, the main reason I'm showing you these 3 spots is you will see between each waves I move to a different vantage point. I have a complete bird's eye view of everything going on. I'm not worried about getting flanked. So again, these are great spots to hit up, especially if you're playing solo. As most of you probably know by now, in this game, when you're at a control point, things seem to get sideways really quick. I mean, I've had control points where I'm sitting there and then an elite patrol rolls through and then another patrol, then 2 rogue agents. It just becomes a dumpster fire so fast. So again, having these vantage points really helps out. And as I start to wrap this video up, I want to once again recommend, when you're trying out a new build or a new control point or a new mission that you want to speed run, I strongly suggest drop the difficulty, learn that timing of the NPC. That way, when you go to heroic, you know what to expect and you know which build is best for you. As always, like I said earlier in the video, if there are any control points that you'd like to hit up, my friends, that you want to recommend to new, returning players, beginners, whatever it may be, please let me know in the comments section down below. As I said before, the main goal, help each other out, work together, and pass along any information that we can to improve anyone's gameplay. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. We just cracked 20,000 subs yesterday, and that's during a year where nothing new has happened in the game. So your support and your being here and you just being a part of this gaming family sincerely means the world to me. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
I'm gonna use that cover to go around.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
They won't see us coming this way.
Heavily armored hostile detected.